What's up, YouTube? It's 410 Auto Tech here, and I'm going to be doing my first how-to videos, and it's going to be how to solder two wires together. It's going to be out of a car first, and then the next step I'll show you on like another video on how it's a little harder to do it in the car. But as long as you can get the basics down, then you should be fine. Just stay tuned. Alright, first, here's your wire. I'm just going to cut it in half for demonstration purposes. Cut it in half. Then you have a break in the connection just like this. So it's out of the car, so it's definitely easier. So you're going to want to take your wire strippers, depending on what gauge wire you have, and go right about right there. You can see, crimp it, and just slightly pull away. Same thing with your other end, and pull away. And you can see you have around about that much. I would sometimes go a little farther to get a better connection going on for you, like when you're just starting out. But it's probably a decent size, and I'll do the same with this side. Alright, so you always want to twist your wires so it's pretty much straight for you. Here is some heat shrinking tubing. Cut that in half. Typically you slide it over on the one end, a little further back, and then you got your two wires. Usually what I do is I start with like an X formation and then twist them together, just like that. Nice solid connection like that. This is my snap-on soldering gun. I've used it for the past 5 years and I love it. So as you can see, I've dropped it and it's still held up. Turn on the gas, ignite the flame. You can see it's a little shining bright. So what I usually do, and you can see the tip's kind of dirty, so I'm gonna clean it up for you. I usually let it get nice hot and then try to clean off all the excess old solder, so you can get a nice good connection every single time you do a wire repair. In this automotive industry, to make it alive nowadays, you're going to have to learn how to solder wires and look up wiring diagrams. So that'll be for another know-how to learn how to read wiring diagrams. So I clean it off. I use Rosin core solder. Usually I just take a little piece off, cut it, and then what I usually do is I go from underneath the wire, let it warm up for a second, and start tinting it, and blow it a little bit so it's out of your face. And you can see this way solder gets pretty much all over it. You got a good connection right there. And if you're doing multiple wires, sometimes I'll let it dry before I put the heat shrink over it, just like that. And then once you're done, take a little torch, heat it up nice and evenly. Some of them have, you can see a little bit of a gelish looking oozes out, and that's when you know it's perfectly sealed. It'll be pretty much waterproof almost, essentially. So there's that, and that's your first know-how-to videos on soldering 101. I'll do more and show you on real life scenarios on how much a pain in the butt it can be, but to be honest, this is a majority of how I make my money. But usually I'll string it from one connector to another connector, module to module, module to connector. Alright, so after you've soldered it and made a joint, I always try to wrap it up. I'll wrap the individual wire that I've repaired in electrical tape. Try to make it as tight as you can. as tight as you can. Rip it off. And then if it's in a harness, I'll usually tape this portion with the harness, wrap it around a little bit more. Not too tight, but just in case if something else happens to another wire in there, it's a little bit easier to access once you cut the tape off and it's not mountains and mountains of tape. Alright, what's up YouTube? It's 410 Auto Tech. Let me know how you like that video. It's my first know-how-to video on basic wiring, soldering, and connector repair. I'm going to drop more videos similar to it and more in different videos, changing brakes, changing oils, how to check for your air filters and periodic maintenance items. So just drop a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Give me some feedback, positive, negative. Just let me know and I'll be better. Thank you. 410 Auto Tech.